Oh, hello everyone. Today we are in Springfield. I was gonna make a joke about there being Springfield in every state, but apparently there isn't. I thought there was, but apparently not. So, we're in Springfield, Oregon. I was feeling like I needed to get out of town this weekend, so I'm out of town this weekend. I have no idea what's in Springfield, but we're kind of just roaming around the back alleys right now. We're just gonna walk around, kind of go for a kind of more of an urban vibe today. It's a little chilly. Hopefully we don't get any rain, but I guess we'll see what we can get. I've been focusing on what I like to call timeliness, which is like, or no, not timeliness, timelessness, which is, it's kind of a photograph with no elements signifying what time period it was taken, kind of like relatively. So avoiding cars, especially, those are like a big one, like modern signage, stuff like that. So I'm kind of going for like the timelessness of the place instead of modernity. So I don't know if that makes any sense, but that's kind of what I'm going for. So no cars. Okay, I know I just said no cars, but this is kind of a different story. I feel like specific cars work. Yeah, I think specific cars work. So like this one, kind of looks like it's been sitting here for a while. It's kind of rusty, dirty. Paint is peeling, there's moss. So that kind of gives the sense of timelessness, even though it is a car. I'm thinking like more modern cars, more clean cars. Also, what's the, I don't know what the deal is with the Simpsons here, but there's like Simpsons people everywhere, so I've never seen the Simpsons. So lately I've been kind of feeling this just kind of straight onto a building shot. I think it's kind of a cool representation. It's like, I want these photos to feel real, you know? That's kind of why I wanted to go to a place like this. Like, I feel like that idea of timelessness, it feels just like real, tangible a little bit, which I think I really like. It is 100% raining right now. I also don't like leaving my camera in the sidewalk. I'm gonna move this here. Oh, you see that rain coming in? Yikes. So basically I'm looking at this door. It's like kind of disheveled and broken down. Yeah, that's the vibe. It's a vibe, bro. You'll see me do this a lot, where I put my eye up to the frame and then walk around. I'm shooting on a prime lens, and I think this comes a lot from film photography, because every shot you take costs money, so you don't want to just take photos just to see what it looks like. That's what I used to do with DSLR. I would or digital, I guess. I would take the photo to test the composition, which, when you think about it, that's kind of unnecessary, right? Because you literally could just look through the viewfinder and that's what the image is going to be. So, yeah, I think it's a good habit to get into, to like look through it and then walk. And don't press the shutter until you kind of know the general composition that you want, and then you can adjust from there. But I don't know, more intentional about the composition. Okay, there's the dumpster. So this is what I'm shooting. And see this like super soft light. It's completely overcast today, which is basically a big soft box. So we're getting this very soft light coming in here. And then the rest of the parking garage this way is super dark. So it's pretty cool, like contrast between the light. So just make sure it's in focus. You know how it is. Okay. I don't even know. All right, so now I'm seeing this shot. I think the thing that caught my eye about the shot was the color green and orange. So we have like these things are green, obviously green, and then this wall, there's like orange rust up here. I could probably push these numbers towards orange a little bit. Green and orange is a good combo. They look good together, so there's crime afoot. Again, avoiding elements of modernity, if that's a word. Modernity, the quality or condition of being modern. It is a word, and it does mean what I think it means, so that's better than canoodling. And let me tell you, when you start thinking about color and like the relationships between them, so like green and orange, blue and orange are classics. Anyway, you start seeing them like everywhere, I feel like. So like here, I'm seeing orange tones in the fence. I'm seeing green tones. We got this moss, some plants. So green and orange, it feels very natural and like it's very warm, very nice. So it's one of my favorite combos. Huh. So apparently The Simpsons takes place in Springfield. That is why there is Simpsons everywhere. Anyways, moving on. You know, I didn't know I was going to find this today. I've just kind of been wandering around, shooting the utmost random elements. Clearly this stuff was made by humans. It has very, like, industrial, gritty feel to it. But there's also nothing around it, so it feels empty. Like it was created and then it was left. And that, I think, is the feeling of timelessness. I think that's at least part of it. So I'm looking at, whoa. There's satellite dish up here, the tree, and that post. I'm trying to put the tree between the post and the satellite dish. Oh, if only I could expose it properly. Yeah. You would think after 15 years of photography I would know how to expose my images. It's not how it works. Back at it again with, you guessed it, green and orange. This is quite an interesting scene. So, I know I said no cars, but this is not a car, so there you go, I guess. But yeah, I guess this is more about the relationship between the green and the orange. There's some orange traffic cones behind here, so I'm trying to get those kind of peeking through. I really like this. Yeah. Again, noticing color relationships in everyday scenes can really make a photograph a lot more interesting. I am just finding all sorts of stuff that I like today. Springfield is a pretty cool place. For some reason there's lots of abandoned buildings here, like just chilling. So this is the stuff I love shooting. Again, green and orange. This is becoming a pattern. Once you see it everywhere. I'm telling you. All right. After some food, some caffeine, and a bathroom break, I'm back at another spot. Sunshine has come out for the day, so that's nice. Just met a couple of guys that they own a shop down here, but not really sure where we are. It's kind of a grouping of buildings that look abandoned, so I don't know, but it's a pretty cool spot. So that was the first time I've been able to tell someone that I have a photography YouTube channel, which that's pretty cool. They were, in their words, not grilling me for taking photos here, which is good. because sometimes these types of places you can get in some trouble. But as long as you're not kind of breaking anything or entering areas you're not supposed to go into, theoretically you should be fine. But don't quote me on that, please. This place is very strange. I don't know what this place is, but it's kind of cool. There's an orange cone and a green stairway, so there you go. It's everywhere, I tell you. Places like this make me ask a lot of questions. And I think that is a reason why I like photographing places like this. It's like, I have no idea what this place is, and I have so many questions. I think that makes for some interesting photography. Places with questions and not a lot of answers. I think we're getting some frames I don't think I was expecting on this day. We're getting some sun. Some nice, beautiful sunshine. Where you're standing is a banger frame right now. Look at this. Green and orange kind of fish. Yellow is kind of like orange, like green and yellow, green and orange. That's all kind of the same. I gotta back up. I gotta get behind you, dog. So, this is the frame. Don't want the blue. Oh, that is fire. If we go back to the subject of timelessness, nowhere in here is there kind of any indication of modern technology. Everything is like rusty, abandoned. It's like falling apart. That, to me, like the textures of that, it just feels so real and so tangible. And I think, especially with focal length of 35, it just feels very real and like observational. I'm having the most fun I've had in a long time. Partly because this place is crazy cool and it's like exactly the style of shooting that I like. But also, I quit my job recently and my last day was Wednesday. It's Saturday right now. And this is my first weekend without the stress of work, which is amazing. Like, I don't really understand how just a simple weekend out of town could mean so much, but it really does. Like, I don't want to go into it that much, but like this means a lot to me. So I'll just leave it at that, but it feels good. It feels, yeah. It's like every time I turn a corner, I discover another beautiful scene. Now, this is not your typical beautiful scene when you think about what that means. I guess it's all subjective, but this, to me, beautiful. I think, like, these places interest me so much because it makes me wonder, like, what happened here? What did they use this for? What did this look like in its prime? You know? I think that's one question I find myself asking at locations like this. Oh my goodness. Absolute banger of a frame. There's like a little, I'll show you in a second, but there's a, I have no idea what that thing is, but it's cool, framed. So, this is what I was talking about. If you know what this is, please comment, because I have no idea what this thing is, but this is Look at this. Oh my goodness. It's like everywhere I turn is just an absolute banger of a frame. This lighting is cool. Oh my goodness, look at that. Absolutely gorgeous frame. Here's another scene I find quite lovely. This little closet thing tucked in the corner. Since it's super sunny out now, I'm kind of leaning into the hard lines, heavy contrast, because, you know, what else are you gonna do? I think it just adds a certain dynamicism to a scene. Oh my goodness. It's just such an interesting scene. I don't know. Am I the only one who finds this interesting? Probably, but I don't know. I hope you find it interesting. All right, so just got done meandering with the camera. I was getting a little hungry, so got these, which are amazing, by the way. I'm not sponsored, but hey man, you never know. You know when you haven't eaten in a while and like you start to feel tired basically, and like your brain starts to slow down. I was getting lazy with the photos. Not a good sign, but feeling a little bit better. I've been trying to understand why I like shooting in locations like this so much. So the way that I would describe what I like to shoot is basically like urban decay. What are other words? Industrial abandonment. Okay, I don't actually know how to describe what I like to shoot, but basically abandoned places, lots of rust, lots of peeling paint, textures, decaying wood, stuff like that. So that's kind of what I enjoy most shooting. And so like I didn't know that I was going to end up here, but this was one of my favorite shoots that I've done in quite a while. And I think that's because it was in a space like this. And so this got me thinking, like, why do I like shooting in spaces like that so much? And basically I like shooting in places where you can see the impact of humans, human built things, machines, buildings, stuff like that, but the absence of human presence. I've been talking about this idea of timelessness, and I think that really fits into this category very well, because in those spaces, there's not really any kind of signals to modern technology or the modern era, basically. I feel like everything, well, okay, not everything, but a lot of the things that are modern, when you think of modern design, I'm thinking of smooth surfaces, like sharp edges, lines. When Squidward goes to the chrome, I don't remember that episode very well, but like, you know what I'm talking about. And there's just no character in it. There's no like, you know, it's not tactile. You can't feel anything. And I don't really like that. So I think being in spaces that are like abandoned, they're old, you get these textures, that is the stuff that I like to shoot. Whenever I'm in a place that's like abandoned or decaying or whatever, I'm always curious, like, what did this place look like when it was brand new? What happened here? Like, who was in this place? Like, what was it used for? Those are the questions that are running through my head. And so when I'm shooting in these places, I'm not trying to capture the things themselves. Well, I am, but like, I'm trying to capture the story of those items, you know? There's just so much story in those places. And that story makes me ask questions. Like when I see those photos, I'm like, wow, I wonder what that was used for. I wonder who lived there. I wonder like when it was abandoned, like those kinds of things. I think photographs that make you ask questions, they just have so much more impact. When you ask questions about photos, you kind of like stay with the photo more. And so I hope that when other people look at those photos, they kind of ask themselves the same questions. I don't know. I'm just talking to myself, trying to figure out why I like shooting in abandoned spots, but it really is just human impact, but not human presence. I think that is how I would categorize what I like to shoot. And I think I learned that about myself today. I've kind of always known subconsciously what I like to shoot, and like obviously I gravitate more towards these kinds of subjects, but I've never really asked myself why. And so I think today, like questioning that, it was pretty interesting to find out. And I think as photographers, I mean, it's not necessary, but it's kind of fun to figure out what you like to shoot and like actually put that into words. It's hard. I mean, I've been doing photography for like 15 years, and I'm just now finding out that this is what I like to shoot. And so I guess no one's ever asked me that question, but if you ask yourself that question, it's kind of a fun one to figure out. I think I might have to do a little bit of refinement, but what did I say? I think I'm going to go with human impact without human presence. Human impact without presence. How's that? Yeah, as photographers, it's fun to try to put what you like shooting into one concise statement. I've never really done that before, so maybe try that. I mean, it's okay to like more than one thing. I mean, I like shooting everything, but this is my favorite. I hope that helped you in some way. Again, this is just me trying to figure out myself and my own photography stuff, but yeah, I hope some of that helped you. So if you do end up figuring out what you like to shoot, let me know in the comments. I would love to see it. But I guess until then, I will see you in the next one.